Hello, my name is George Lugo, and I'm here today to speak to you about the mineral iron. Iron is an essential mineral, which means you cannot live without it. Iron is important for the maintenance of energy levels. Optimal levels of iron in the body also improve physical performance. And that's because about 46% of the iron in your body is found in your red blood cells, and about 24% in your muscles. Red blood cells are essential for transferring oxygen from your lungs to the rest of your body. So, if you happen to not be getting enough iron and you're not transferring enough oxygen to your body, you're going to have a serious problem. And I believe that the first indication of a problem of that type, not getting enough iron, is that you're going to experience some fatigue. You're not going to feel as energized as you normally do. Also, because so much of it is found in your muscles, if you're physically active, you will need more iron and will need to take in more in your diet. Low iron levels are not so easy to diagnose, as the symptoms are shared by other vitamins and minerals, and also level of exercise or lack of exercise. So the focus, in my opinion, should be how do you get the iron that you need. That's what you should be focusing on. But before we go there, we need to understand the difference between heme iron and non-heme iron. Heme iron is found in animal proteins and fish. It is the easiest form of iron for the body to absorb. The body absorbs around 80 to 100% of this form of iron, whereas the non-heme form, which is plant-based iron, is not absorbed as well by the body. Only 10 to 30% of this form of iron is actually absorbed and used in the body. Why the variation in absorption? Well, it depends on what other foods you are eating or supplements you are taking. The rule to follow is a simple one. Make vitamin C supplementation or vitamin C rich foods a part of your diet to increase the absorption of the iron that you take in from your diet. In other words, by taking extra vitamin C or making sure you have adequate amounts of vitamin C in your body, rather than 80% of the heme iron, your body will absorb 100%, and rather than 10%, your body will absorb 30% of the non-heme iron. Minimize the dairy and calcium supplements in your diet because calcium interferes with the absorption of iron. To ensure that you get the calcium that you need, I recommend or suggest that you do what I do, and that is take your calcium supplement late in the evening. When you're not eating a meal that is rich in iron, or you're taking a supplement. You don't do those two at the same time. Whereas the vitamin C and the iron should be taking at least 60 minimal 60 milligrams of vitamin C should be taken with your iron in order to increase its absorption rate or its absorption. And I recommend, or I suggest, which is what I do, I suggest that you take the calcium supplement late in the evening rather than getting your calcium from dairy products that you eat, is because dairy products also cause inflammation. And inflammation has been identified as a factor in a lot of the aging related illnesses and diseases that we are plagued with nowadays. The easiest way, so how do you get the iron that you need? Or how do you know that you're getting the iron that you need? Obviously, if the symptoms can be related to not only iron but other vitamins and minerals, then you're basically at a loss as to whether the fatigue that you're feeling might be a lack of iron, it might be a lack of magnesium, it might be a lack of B complex, vitamins. So how do you ensure that you are getting the right amount of iron that you particularly need? And the easiest way to get the iron that you need is from the iron skillet. The iron skillet has been proven to provide, well, it's heme iron to begin with because it's iron from the dirt. And that is the easiest way for the body, well, that's the best form of iron that for the body to absorb. And actually, the Roman Empire doctors of 2,000 years ago knew this fact. And they would actually feed their, or give their soldiers that lost a lot of blood in battle, wine with iron filings to bring their iron levels back to normal. So this is nothing new. This is something that has been known for thousands of years. And using the iron skillet, basically you're following the same principle that the Roman Empire doctors followed. Now, what are the best sources of heme iron? Again, the iron skillet, red meat, poultry, and seafood. And sources of non-heme iron, which is not so easily absorbed, are grains. I have my list here. Grains, beans, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. A percentage of the iron found in animal protein and fish is also non-heme. Therefore, even if you're on a low carb diet, you're basically an animal protein or fish eater, and you do very little of anything else, you still do need to take your vitamin C, because vitamin C will help increase the absorption of both heme and non-heme iron. And follow the second rule of avoiding dairy and not taking a high calcium supplement, with your meals, but instead at the end of the day. It also helps you sleep better too. It helps to calm the body down. So, back to how do you know if you're getting enough iron in your system, if the amount that you're taking in is the right amount for you? Well, I hope, at the risk of offending someone's sensibilities here, I just have to say this because it is very important for your health, and that is, if you want to know how much iron is enough for you, that's working for you, then all you need to do is look at your feces. In other words, after you go to the bathroom, you take a look. You don't have to stare at it, just take a quick look. If it's brown to darkish brown, you're in the good range. You're getting the right amount of iron. If it goes too dark towards black, then that means that you're getting too much. And if you go the opposite direction towards light brown, then that means you're not getting enough. And that is the way that I do it, and the best way, I think, the easiest way to keep track of how well you're doing as far as iron intake is concerned on a daily basis. And one more thing I like to add is a word on iron supplementation. Iron supplements come in the form of non-heme. So it's important that you read the label, that you understand whether the company that produced the iron supplement has taken into consideration or listed on the label the amount of iron that's actually in the pill, or how much can be absorbed. I've seen vitamins that are iron tablets that are like about 600 milligrams, and then under it in parentheses, under the 600 in parentheses, it'll say 65 milligrams. Well, that means that the absorption rate is 10% or so. But if you add vitamin C to that, then it could actually go as high as 18 milligrams. So you need to read labels carefully. And with that having been said, this concludes my talk on iron. And as always, I wish you the best of health. And God bless in all of your life's endeavors. Thank you.